To win a Daytona 500, it's a dream. There's so many ties to the history of the sport in this win. Can't wait to see this. This is gonna be cool. Roll the tape. This is the last lap of the Daytona 500. Feeling pretty good about the position we're in. Anytime you are in the race on the last lap, you've accomplished something, especially the 500. 11 car kind of goes up the track here to side draft me. That momentum from the 43 gives me a good shove here. This is him getting to the top for the first block, and I'm starting to go low. It comes back left, and that's when it gets him. Just trying to get to the checkered flag. Just can't lift. If I lift, I'm probably getting wrecked out the back too. I'm in my rear view right now, kind of in awe that we're going to have a shot to win the Daytona 500.
The number 3, 20 years ago, won the Daytona 500. Austin Dillon wins the 60th running of the Great American Race.
There's nothing like that right there.
You just win it. Yeah, you won it. Yes, sir. It is over. You won. Congratulations.
That's what it's all about. This right here, I did not know I was creating a 3 in the grass, but it turned out pretty perfect. You hope you do the right thing and have a good show for the fans, and I think this was pretty cool. It's the best part. Those guys celebrating. His dad celebrating. Craven jumping up on Dad like a kid. It's just everything you dream of right here, man. Coolest part of that is seeing your boys. Guys that put so much time and effort into it. They're beating on the hood. That's cool. Just thankful for the opportunity to run the 3-car. And this is just kind of tradition, man. Sliding in the grass. Done it since the Truck Series days. And brought it with me to the Cup, and it's pretty awesome to see all the guys sliding with you. It's just a feeling of delivering something to a lot of people that have just put so much time and effort. That thing is so heavy. That is the heaviest trophy in the world. Oh, Pop, the love that he's given me, feels good to give him something back. One of the trophies of a lifetime. Champagne burns so good.
And great to have Austin Dillon with us at the Hollywood Hotel, ready to race here at Atlanta. By the way, the headline, again, he's making headlines everywhere. You can get a shot of this, right? You can see that. It doesn't get old. It's all sunk in now, right? It's you put that in the rear view mirror, you take that with you when you get on the track next time.
Yeah, it's time to go forward. You know, RCR, we got a lot to prove this year, and we want to keep winning races, but that was a heck of a start. Couldn't do it any better.
Yeah, you mentioned something about giving something back to RCR, or Richard Childress in particular, Pop. And, I mean, you know, there's got to be a lot of pressure. I mean, being, you know, related to your car owner, it's not just going and doing your job. It's what can you deliver because they've had so much success.
Exactly, and my grandfather took a real leap of faith and put me in his race car. You want to go out there, and a lot of people look up to my grandfather in the sport, but not only that, he's got a lot of people's mouths that he has to feed back home at RCR. So put me in that car was a leap of faith, and feels great to, like I said, deliver something to him to make sure he made a right choice.
You've won 2 of our biggest races. You won the Coke 600 last year, and we always talk about how special the Daytona 500, how it's so different than all the other races. You won Charlotte, and you know what that celebration was like. How does that compare to what the Daytona celebration was like?
Oh, Jeff told me beforehand, there's nothing like celebrating a Daytona 500 because it's the only place you actually stay the next night. And my grandfather said it best this week on Race Hub. He said, you know, I never won a whole lot of races, but when we did win, I never lost a party. So we did a pretty good job on that front.
And by the way, Race Hub weeknights on FS1, tune in for that. This what makes this amazing. You were in a backup car, right? You start at the rear of the field. You're running third into that final lap. You led only 1 lap, obviously the most important, and in Las Vegas you were a 40-to-1 long shot, so it seemed like it was all against you. Just take us through maybe that last lap you're thinking, because Michael Waltrip in the broadcast was one who pointed out, hey, watch that 3 cars. Things were, I don't think you were on anybody else's radar, at least at the moment.
Well, we've had some good runs at the speedways, and I told myself throughout the race a couple times, I was like, what are these guys racing so hard for? Which is good. It's great racing. No, the racing was great, but my plan was to make sure we had a chance at the end to win the race. I felt like we could gain bonus points throughout the year if if we won the Daytona 500, it'd mean a lot. So we did a good job of just staying in there and putting ourselves in the right position. I made a key move before the 41 big crash at the end to move to the bottom. My grandfather always said, you know, have a place to go. If a wreck happens, you want to have a place to go, and I had the bottom, and that's what helped us get to 4th there. And I knew I had Bubba behind me, and I felt like he was going to help me to the end, and he did, and we ended up in victory lane.
Larry McReynolds tells a great story about when Dale put the penny, his lucky penny, on his dash, and how Dale was determined to get that stuck to the dash. How did that come up? How did your lucky penny come about? The young man that gave it to you, and did you think that was your good luck charm?
For sure. You know, Jordan was the kid's name. We were in autograph line, and I'm signing for everybody. And Jordan comes up, and he just had a manufacturer hat on. It was the opposite manufacturer. I said, man, if you don't have a favorite driver, I'm going to hook you up right here. I said, I'll give you my hat if I'm your favorite driver. So I signed it, gave him my hat, and didn't think much of it. Thought I gained a fan probably for that day. And the next day, I'm walking to the garage, and I hear somebody yell my name at the fence. And I look over, and he's got my hat on. I was like, all right, there he is. So walked up to him, and he just handed me a penny. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll put it on the car. And I remember the 98 penny story and how it all went together. And I thought maybe his grandmother told him, like, hey, you should give him a penny. That was really good luck for Dale Sr. when all that happened. And he just was trying to give me something because I gave him a hat. He didn't have anything connected to that story. And it was really cool to, you know, have a penny in my car and go to victory lane 20 years later.
All right, let's walk through this last lap and what really got you to victory lane. Now, I watched in that video, we saw where the 11 comes up to side draft you. I think that was a crucial moment, and I'll tell you why. Because it stalled your lane out. I think Amarola could have possibly blocked you there and got enough momentum, but when that stalled you out, it stacked up Bubba and the others behind him, and now all of a sudden you got a huge push. So now you got this huge push. You see Amarola go to block your lane, but you got all the momentum. What do you think? What are you going to do with that run?
Well, at that point, things are going through your mind so fast, and I think the 11 did create that whole run for the 43. When he moved up the track, it gave him a little more air on my nose, and the 43 gave me that huge push. So I get past the 11, I'm kind of looking to my left and make sure I'm clear of him. When I go left, the 10 kind of goes with me, but at that point, when I get to his back bumper, there's just so much momentum there, and I'm not going to lift. You know, it's the end of the race, and everybody's mind is one thing: get to the finish line.
Yeah, we had Eric Almirola here, driver of the 10 earlier, said you reached out to him, and I thought, you know, right away when you got out of the car in your victory celebration, you mentioned him. Hey, sorry about the 10 car. So your thinking is, hey, this is all within the framework, driver to driver code. I'm going for it. He'll understand, regardless of who the other driver is.
Yeah, in my opinion, you know, if I'm in the same situation, if I lift there, I'm probably going to get wrecked too. You know, it's everybody's going for one thing, and I've been at the end of those 500s, and you don't have those chances very often. Yep. You know, it's the last lap of the Daytona 500, and when he made the first block, I had tried to go low, and he did a good job following me there, and it just, my car was going faster at that point in time.
When I look at that video, it's almost the perfect storm. You give him that little bump, he goes right, and the 11 was far enough back that you were able to drop down in front of him and get the push to the line. So it was really a perfect storm for you.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when we got the gap that we got. You know, we had to have a huge run when the 43 gave us that. And it was just a great story to go along with it when Bubba got to second. I raced with Bubba growing up in Bandoleros and Legends cars, watched what he's gone through to get to where he's at now. And the 3 and the 43 and Chevrolet together, that was really cool.
Hey, we have, I'm sorry, real quick, we were talking about Jordan, the youngster with the pen. He's an 11-year-old, Jordan Wade. We have a little clip. He wanted to ask you a question that we had on tape.
Well, your grandpa isn't watching. Can I take your car for a spin?
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that guy, he deserves to get in my car and take it for a spin.
You'll have to drive, though. I don't think he has his license yet.
We'll give him a booster seat. Right?
All right, so now you're in Atlanta. You know, Daytona will never be behind you. That's going to live with you forever. But now you do have to start focusing on the rest of the season. A lot of people say this is where the season really starts. So, you know, how's the weekend going? What do you think you have over these next few races and mile and a half and establishing where you can be for the championship?
Well, I totally agree. The season starts now. Atlanta's one of the toughest places we go to as far as grip level. And last year we didn't have a really good car qualifying. We qualified 19th, and we raced really great here. I was running 3rd at the end of the race, and we had an alternator go out, lost power. We've got got a similar setup, but we're trying to work through it a little bit with the new ZL1. I think there's a different package that we need to find, but Newman's car's been fast, so we've kind of moved toward his direction. And long runs are something I like. That's what I love to run. And this place that strings out and you can save your tires, you can make a lot of momentum. So we're going to be working hard. We got to figure out how to deliver each and every weekend, and I think execution's a big key part of that. But with the win behind us, we should be able to carry that momentum.
Yeah, you're in, you know, NASCAR playoffs, so that's a great start. Your crew, which also is part of making history, is standing by, and they did such a great job with our Michael Waltrip as we go to Michael live right now.
Yeah, Chris, I'm proud to be standing alongside of 4 of the over-the-wall pit crew members for Austin. This is Tyler Rader, played football at West Virginia. Darrell Edwards, the first African-American to ever win the Daytona 500 as an over-the-wall pit crew member. And Paul Swan, played football at the Bowling Green State University. Football, basketball, Grandpa. This is Terry Spalding, 50 years old. Wow, how do you do it?
I'm smarter than the rest of them.
And you rely on your experience, right?
Yes, I've always had to, yeah.
That's awesome. How proud are you guys of Austin Dillon grabbing that win on the last lap?
I mean, it's awesome. All the, haters he has for driving that 3-car, for him to put that thing in victory lane 20 years after Dale Earnhardt did was really special.
And how special was it for you when you were in college playing him in football and just wearing him out?
I believe the score was, 55-10? So, it was a beating. It was pretty good. I think I came out in the third quarter, so.
And I want to tell you, putting a car in position to win the Daytona 500, the job y'all did all day long, that was amazing. I'm really happy for y'all, but I'll see you on the basketball court. Unhand me, you beast. You back off.
The crew, so important to your success. It looks like you have a great relationship with your guys on the crew.
Yeah, I know each and every one of them. We all hang out, push each other, real competitive. We have a group text together that's pretty entertaining, but we have fun together. Mikey's actually on my hoop group team this year. I traded to get him over Rick Allen. So
oh, really?
I went Michael over Rick Allen. Yeah.
Very good trade.
Hey, a lot of ways to celebrate, and we know you know how to have a good party. What about the tattoo? Tell us about that.
You knew we were going to ask.
Yeah, it
We're
was
not going
just
to ask you to see it. No.
It was a heck of a story. No, I can't show you because I'm sitting on it, but it was a good time. It was mostly just about creating memory. We had been to that same tattoo parlor. Oh man, there's a video.
Wow, there's actual video of is that used with?
That is impressive. That's some of my guys. Those 2 of my guys.
Those are part of your.
I got to tell you, not a lot of guys win a Daytona 500 and run to a tattoo parlor.
Yeah, we just felt like we needed to go back. We had been there once before. This wasn't the first time, so we went back and added a couple members to our wolf pack, as we call it. And, it was a memorable night.
Are there any other races on the schedule that are tattoo worthy, or is it only the Daytona 500?
Brickyard's a pretty good one, man. If we could go get the Brickyard this year, or just a championship. Justin Alexander, my crew chief, he chickened out on the whole deal. So he said if we win a championship, he would get a tattoo on his face. So we got to go to work.
All right,
so pretty odd because he seemed like a gambler. He seemed like a kind of guy that would be kind of out there a little bit.
Yeah, I think we can
based on the way he calls races.
Right. I think we can get him dialed in.
So it just says Daytona 500 champ, or what is it? What's the actual?
So every year the Daytona 500 has a different logo, a little bit different. And mine says 60th annual.
The 60th annual. That's right. And your wife, I'm sure, is okay with that.
Yeah, she's solid. She's dealt with all my craziness. That's why she's with me. She's a great girl.
Well, congrats again. Thanks for coming in. It was a terrific finish. And the haters out there, well, they can't hate anymore. You're a Daytona 500 champ. All right. We'll
show them the trophy.
We'll continue live from Atlanta Motor Speedway. And who do we have there? Is that
That's
Blaney in the house?
Oh, he's coming in. Oh, that's me.
He's teaching Michael a few things.